Ayo guys, this is kind of an intro beforehand before we get into the video and everything here. So I thought I'd put together a little parts list, at least what I could put together of what I used. Just so that you guys know for when you are going into this build or whatnot. So the list that's compiled here that you'll go ahead and see, and it'll be on screen there too. You're going to need a 7mm socket. You might need those for your coil pack. Those are typically gonna be your coil pack screws. Mine actually turned out to be 8mm since I put aftermarket ones in them. So hey, yeah, you might not need that 7mm, but you might need the 7mm on some cases. So I would just have it on standby. Now that 8mm, you're gonna use it on a lot of miscellaneous different things. So I would get an open end wrench. For sure, to go ahead and get in some places. That's what I used to take off the 8mm bolts on the plenum, minus the 10mm that I had to get off, but that 8mm is definitely going to be handy. The 10mm socket, you're going to need the 10mm socket for a bunch of different miscellaneous things, and like taking off your intake manifold. All those intake manifold bolts are 10mm, so you're going to need that to take them off. The 12mm, you might not need it, the socket. I needed it for my battery, but you might not need it. You might have like 10s and 13mm on your battery cable connection ends there. I just needed the 112 for the one side, and then I needed a 14 for my other one, so it was a little weird, if I remember correctly, taking it out. Now, if you want to take off all your plastics off of, whether it be the hood or from your radiator shroud, the plastic cover on that, it would be best to go get a cap pause tool so you don't break any of the clips. But if you're careful enough, you can do it with a knife too. Just be wary of messing up all your different stuff on there, i.e. like your stickers, your engine stickers and stuff like that. So if you're gonna replace all this, then great, just go in there and rip the shit apart. But if you're not, I recommend getting a cat's paw tool so it makes it easy and doesn't break stuff. For your fuel lines, to disconnect your fuel lines, you are going to need an AC fuel line disconnect tool. The AC lines on the car are really not that hard to take off. You don't need the disconnect tool for that. What you need it for is for the fuel line to go ahead and pop the inner ring so that you can pull it out. You can also do this with screwdrivers. I went ahead and I did it with screwdrivers and I popped mine loose. But in doing so, I ripped one of my gaskets, so I'll have to go ahead and replace that. So that's when I would recommend having the correct tools. For the 5/8 open end wrench, I believe that it's the correct size, and I believe that's the size that goes for your power steering pump, and you just need to disconnect that one line with a big 5/8 open end wrench. The socket drives, the 1/4 inch, 3/8 and a half. I know I said that it was a 1/2 inch, talking about the tensioner all in this video and stuff like that. It's a 3/8 drive. So that you can get in there and get in there with your tensioner. Mind you, you're also going to need all these for like your 10, your 12, your 13, your 15mm socket end. If you don't have a 1/2, 3/8 is going to work fine. I'd recommend having a 1/4 and 3/8 drive. I did most of this with a 3/8 drive socket wrench. I would recommend having wiggle joint socket extensions. That's the next one on the list. Having some wiggle joints are really nice to get in there, where you have your exhaust bolts to take off and stuff like that. And some of the motor mounts, it just makes it really easy to go ahead and get in there if you have wiggle joints. If you don't, it's can be kind of a pain and time consuming. All of this is gonna be time consuming. The next thing on the list is going to be jacks and stabilizer jacks. And then it's a center block work too, but I don't advise. Any of this is at your guys' discretion. I'm not responsible for anything that goes ahead and happens to y'all when doing this. But yeah, have stabilizer jacks so that you can lift up, your back end of your car, and then have another jack on the front just make it really easy on you, so you can lift the car up a little bit in the air, at least like 1.5 feet, 2 feet in the air. That's basically where I have mine lifted, about 1.5 feet in the air. And it just gives you some room to get underneath the vehicle and whatnot, and be able to take out all the bolts that you need to take out underneath the vehicle, i.e. the motor mounts and the exhaust bolts and the O2 sensors and all that stuff. A chain to hang and pull the engine. So some kind of chain, it's like an actual big ass chain that you can put a bolt through, and you can hook it onto your cherry picker to pull it. I didn't put it in here on the list, but a cherry picker is going to be nice to go ahead and have to pull it, so that'll go with the chain. So cherry picker or something to pull the engine with, a pulley system, something. As long as you can get it out of there, thumbs up. A crowbar, you're definitely going to need a crowbar to wedge into some places, or a flathead. I'm going to need a crowbar or a flathead, a flat bar. A flat bar is what I'm going to need. You need a flat bar, not a crowbar. A flat bar is what you need. And that flat bar is going to be used to separate the engine from the transmission, give it a little wiggle in between and go bloop, and then get it all out. A flathead screwdriver, you're going to need that to take off, well, you don't really need to take off, but if you want to take off the front bumper, like I'm taking off the front bumper, you need it for any miscellaneous screws that they use to screw in the fender liners. And then pan to drain the fluids. You are going to need a pan or some sort of pan underneath your power steering and your coolant. If you don't want to dump all your coolant, you're going to need a bucket or something to go ahead and catch all that. And I think that I got everything on the list there that you really need. I'd recommend having some sort of impact or some extra, goodies, or like a right angled automatic wrench, like I go ahead and have a 3/8 drive, so that you can just zip these things off. Now, in doing so, you just make up for time, and I guess that's just about it. I don't think there's anything else to add to that. So let's get down straight into this here, and I hope that you enjoy this, and this should make more sense as it's going along. Also, sorry if it's hard to go ahead and understand or see it piece by piece. I try to do it piece by piece and make it so you guys could understand what I was doing on and off camera and whatnot. It just got to be a pain in the ass. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this. Alrighty, we are back. We got it over here now, and we have the cherry picker. Cherry picker's right here, old school cherry picker. And we're gonna go pull this engine, but I guess while we're here, give a few seconds, and let's go over here and pull, I guess, the main shit that we need to pull. So this electrical connection right here, it's a, I think a ground. Yeah, it is. Or it's a pressure sensor. No, that's a coolant crossover reader. That's a secondary oil reader, I think. Not 100% sure on that one. Beautiful sensor. And all of this going down in the starter. That'll go down in the starter. This shit can all be taken off. Wow, that just came off like that? Cool. I'm down for that. And, yep. Don't gotta worry about that no more. Get off. Take my. Are you serious? I'm gonna take this passage off. And then we're gonna go around here and we're gonna take off all the electrical connections for the coil packs and your injectors over here. I'm not a professional mechanic, by the way. I've gone ahead and I've worked for Ford, and I've worked for Jiffy Lube as a lube tech and then a service technician. So I've had my hands on it a little bit, and I've had some ASE training. But yeah, I'm more of a backyard again. You know what it is. Alright. All them suckers are off there. Get all this. All these electrical connections, you just want to make sure that you get them off, even the ones for your alternator. So we'll go back and we'll get the ones for the alternator here in 1 second. Guess this electrical connection I'll take off because I can, but I don't really want to break it. Oh, good shit. Didn't break it. Because this one, I think I'll probably need on a new engine. This is for the pump. No, that's for your, it's your camshaft shaft sensor. That's what that is. Come on. Really? You're gonna get stuck in there like that? Man, I don't like that. What the heck? You serious? I have to unbolt. Alrighty, I can't really remember exactly here, but I believe there's a 15, an 18, a 13, a 10, probably a 12 millimeter that you need for this. There might be another big ass bit, and I know we got to take off the wheels and all that stuff, but shouldn't be too hard. What I would recommend having for this is all those tools. Just have like a complete mechanic set with like all your millimeters, because they're going to be millimeter drives. Usually I don't think it's SAE, I think it's millimeters on these. I have a little mechanics cart right here with all my fun toy stuff on it. So we're gonna use that to get all this shit off. Alrighty. And while it's here, I guess we'll aim it up a little bit. Woo! There you guys go. Cool. Alright, so last one we were on, what is this? That's nice, that's a little key finder. Cool. That's a computer. Computer for a car. I believe that's a computer for my wrecked truck over there. Anyway, let's start pulling this stuff off again. Just, you know, like your EGR tube, all the vacuum lines and stuff. Ugh! Vacuum lines are off. Get this fucking holly jolly happy horse shit off of there. Ugh! Alrighty. Woo! That tube's back off. Hey! Look at that. Fantabulous. Alright, where is it? Yeah, cool. Cool. Alright, I'll probably need that, so I'm just throwing that over there. This tube, I'll take off right here. This tube right here, you just take out, you just pull it from here. Someone, I think, made this one. And crossover tube on the top here. Fucking the drain is over here. Oh, you sucker. Okay, cool. Alright, now, a big portion of that stuff is off. I have to go get a, oh, hey, look, we got a 10. I want to say that this one's an 8 millimeter. I might be wrong. Nope, it's an 8. Hey, let me find an 8 millimeter in here. If not, I'll have to keep looking around. Let's see what I got. Here's a 7 mil. I'd also recommend having everything organized because it makes everything go a shit ton smooth faster. Yikes. Oh. Okay. Take it off. No. Dang. Not what I want to use at all. I don't know what I want to use at all. No, that's not gonna work. Okay, we're gonna try this 8mm on here real quick because I got an 8mm, and if it works, we're gonna get a screw gun and do it. No! Yo! Oh! Oh, man, it fell all the way down there. Oh! Ah, I'm in fucking water. Disgusting. Damn it. Bruh, I think it was fucking water for the Damn it. Really? You gotta drop all the way there? Fuck, bro. Oh, son of a bitch. Well, that sucks. Motherfucker. Ah, fuck. That is what we call a fail. So let's go get a drill or an impact and let's take this out. All right, now we're back. We got something to take it out with. A little drill, nothing special. Okay. That's kind of ridiculous for cold air. That's all that's holding it on there. All right. There's one piece of the cold air intake. And I'm gonna do this one. This one I gotta put back once I'm done with it. Yeah, there's that. Oh, down there too? Bruh. 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 Man, I haven't even taken this cold air out yet. So I don't even know what it's gonna be like. Oh, come on. Don't be this way to me. Don't be this way to me. Holy crap, there's actually a filter on this thing. Bruh. Bruh. What? Yo. Alright. Oh, it's a bigger bit anyways, man. It's like a 10mm. Yo. Hey. Get down to that 10mm. I'll get back to it. Yeah, looky there. We got that bucket. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Yep. There's one. Got her loose. It was a 10mm. Hey. Alright. And she's undone. Are you serious? You are serious, huh? Why so serious? Dude! I'm gonna freaking snap the bolt. This is what calls for PB Blaster, but when you're a man, you break it off without PB Blaster. Sometimes. Come on. Haven't I been nice to you? I've done all these special things for you. Upgraded you. Hell, I saved you. You're gonna treat me like this? Why? You're like an OnlyFans girl. Nice and pretty to look at, but you can never have them. Alright. Holy shit, fire. Come on. Come on, you freaking piece. Alright, I'm getting tired of trying to take out this freaking... All it is just a bracket for my cold air intake. Freaking... Freaking side fender exit right here. That's all it is. Freaking hold it in place. Also, I don't know if you guys saw in the bottom of the red cart when I showed it, but I have a cover there for a short ram. This is a cold air, so this goes into your fender well right here. But nah, this car never had a short ram intake on it. I had a short ram on my 2000 my Cobra clone, and that was my silver one. So. Híjole. Oh, come on. You know you're done. You know you're done. Be nice to Daddy. Daddy, be nice to you. You know what? Oh, I can just pull it out of that one. Well, we took out the one right here. Took out that one. Make sure you keep them organized so you know where they're going back to, but yeah. Come on. Yeah. That one works, I guess. Mother freak. Ouch! Take out the LMAF, your mass air, or your lightning MAF. Come on. Holy freaking crap. Impressive. Wow. Impressive. Alright, that one's off. And this one. Sorry, air filter. Wonder if it's a beauty cake or cold air. Oh, it's K&N. It's a K&N air filter, baby. That's what we're talking about. Heck yeah. This thing needs to be clean. Alright, we'll go back and we'll wash that thing out. But yeah. Alright. Alright. Cold air intake. Taking apart. And on to the next thing. Alright. Now that that is all taken off, we'll go back here and do like I was doing with the wiring harness on that side. We're gonna plug all the coil packs. Also, I'd advise, you know, going ahead and shoot. That was the second tube. Hey, I found the other tube. I couldn't find it before. Hey. All right. Anyways, I'd recommend disconnecting your battery before doing any of this, but I'm gonna send it. Not really. I'm just disconnecting all this shit, and then once we get the top half undone, we'll take out the battery. All right. All right. That one's done. My plenum has been disconnected. I'm gonna take plenum here. And I guess we gotta get all these bolts and shit. The other thing that you gotta disconnect is your fuel line over here. So don't piss it everywhere when you disconnect it. So I'm gonna come back with a tool and we will keep cracking down into it and you're gonna see it more. Alrighty, it's getting dark and whatnot, but I couldn't find my disconnect line. I'll put a light out here in a second, but we're gonna try to use a flathead tool to get in here to pop this ring. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, no. I tried, right? Okay. The second thing is I need to pull off this. Come on, throttle cable. Don't do this to me. There we go. It's disconnected. Now we're underneath it. Man, I'm gonna need that disconnect tool. Yeesh. Oh, we're gonna keep looking for that disconnect tool. It's somewhere around here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it here, and I guess we're gonna go ahead and take off this intake manifold or the fuel rails. So make sure that you take off both of these right here. I'm gonna find something to get in here and find my tool to disconnect this fuel line right here, but you're supposed to get a plastic tool or one of those X tools, the metal X tools, the AC hose disconnect and the fuel line disconnect tools, and put it in there. It has a little groove or round edge on the end of it, so you can push this in and push in the ring and pull out your fuel line. And then you got these 210 at the top of the fuel rail right here, and they bolt into the intake manifold here. And we're taking off this intake manifold so that we can get in the very back here to take out the transmission bolts back here. There's 2 at the top, and then I believe you have 6 on the bottom, so I believe that there's 8 in total, plus you got the 3 starter bolts to go ahead and take out. So we will go ahead and jump back with you guys after we have gone ahead and done that in detail here. So we're gonna do the same thing to this side too, and take off all the connectors. Like this one was the only one I really forgot over here. Make sure your wiring harness is out of the way. Take off your alternator bracket, take off your alternator, get a 1/2-inch socket wrench in there. You know, move your pulley, your idler pulley, so that you can, or your tensioner pulley, I mean, so that you can loosen the tension on the belt and take off all the front of this, and we'll get to the point of taking all the motor mount bolts and all this shit off here in a second. So we will come back to you once that is done. All right, we took off those 10s on the fuel rail here, and we pulled them up. I gotta get my tools out and whatnot, but I need to get a pair of pliers so that I can disconnect these. They're stuck on here, this fuel line. This cap on the end of this, a couple of them went ahead and broke off when I was doing it. Nothing, you know, nothing too big. I'm gonna replace these fuel injectors anyway, so, you know, these are just be spares. But I guess the next part that we'll get onto is taking off this alternator bracket here. And these are 10s. I just got a 10 open end right here. Make sure you don't break that. Same to this side. Oh, fucking you good fucking whore. Alrighty. Yep. Breaking her loose. Okay, it's loose. And this one, just get back on here like this. One-handed. Okay, cool. And this is so that you can get off your plug and everything off the back of your alternator, because you do need to remove that because it's it's connected to the wiring harness here. So I guess let's grab this. There's one, a two. I guess if you're taking this off, you don't really have to take off these ones. Yeah, you do. My bad, you do. You gotta take them off so you can get in there. At least one side. Make sure wherever you put in these that you kind of have them organized, or at least your ADHD brain has them put somewhere. I just got mine put like right next to here. So I'll be able to tell them apart. These ones down here, these are for the cold air intake, and actually I need to take this bit and put it over there. So all of this is for this cold air intake, which I'm not going to be using this, and I'm going to get a new LMAF probably, so I'll just sell that. And I don't know. Hell, while we're at it, we'll just take off this one. We'll just take off the full bracket. Good deal. And it's off. Hey, ta-da. And now, that alternator bracket has been taken off. It's on the back of this one back here. Oh, that's the plug. This is a 10mm here. You got a 10mm on the end of this. And I got this off of a Lincoln Town Car, I want to say. I don't even remember what alternator I got this one off of, but this is a newer style, because this is a newer style 4.6. My car's an 03. Made a little bit of modifications here and there, but my alternator did take a shit on me in this car, so I did have to replace it. So let's take it off now. This is something I am going to probably keep. I'll take that off. Alright, more or less that side of the wire harness all disconnected over here. I gotta listen there. Why they made it a pain in the ass and made me have to fucking take all this shit out, I don't know. But you don't have to. Yeah, just pry this bitch in here. Sit down down at an angle. Hold up. Hey, look at that. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I just levered that and pulled this part of the wiring harness out. And then the shit to the bottom of your fuse box, you're gonna have to unscrew all that and take out your fuse box here. So know that there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of shit to be taken out here. Alrighty, well, we'll come back when a little bit more progress has been done upstairs up here. We'll probably have, I think, like the next best bet is I'm gonna start taking off like these reservoirs and taking out the battery. We'll just disconnect the power steering fluid, and I'll put something in there in the bottom to go ahead and hold it in place. You want something to catch your fluids when you go ahead and drain any of this. Now once we go ahead and get this out and we get it on the engine stand, I guess we'll pull the pan, see how it is, turn it over, and just take a full look-see at it. And I don't think I'm going to save any of this. I'll just go ahead and sell it as is for fucking the PI heads, more or less. I think that the rings on this are taking a shit, so it's no better than somebody taking the PI heads and resurfacing them and, you know, reusing them, get you know, them ported and done like that. Alrighty, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and get you back in when we have done a little bit more work here. Alright, so it's raining here, but I guess we're back with, I guess, another little update or from when you guys were last here. So I took off the fuel rails, which wasn't really hard, and here comes the rain. There's just two 10s at the top and you can pull them. I don't know where my freaking tool is, so I'll have to find it to disconnect the fuel line. Otherwise, I'm going to take two flathead screwdrivers and pop that out. Don't recommend doing it that way, but when you're in a pinch, I guess you can do that. For the plenum at the top, there's four 8mm bolts that you have to get out. And then I think that the previous owner was a fuckhead and stripped out the original hole here, so they put in a 10. So I had a 10mm, but you might have an 8 here. I'm not so sure on that. And then the rest of it, these are two 10s, and you just, you know, take those out. The gasket fell here, so it's down underneath the intake. But the next part is to take off these. So these are all your coil packs. I had just gone ahead and replaced these. I mean, they're a little dirty, but these are brand new coil packs, and I'm going to keep these set. So I'm going to take all of these off, and these new bolts, I'm going to take all of them off here. And then we're going to take off the intake manifold, and we're going to show you behind there where the two bolts are that you need to get for your transmission. Those are going to be your transmission bolts, and those are going to be your only access, really, aside from like getting in there with a wiggle joint up underneath the car and trying to fucking do it through your headers and everything. It's just a pain in the ass, honestly. I'd recommend doing it this way and just taking off your intake manifold. If you're gonna rip out the engine and the engine's no good and you're gonna take it apart, then I'd honestly recommend doing it this way, just because it makes it so much fucking easier in your life. Right here you got two 10s, so you're gonna take off this bracket and this oh, I forget what they call them, the air idle whatever fucking sensor shit. You're gonna take off all that, and you're gonna pull all this. The other thing that I did go ahead and do, I don't know if I did this on camera, but I had taken off the alternator bracket here, and off camera I went ahead and I took off the serpentine belt. Nothing super special. You just get a, you know, your half inch. So mine's over here. I mean, I have another one, but this is just one I can use right now. Okay, there we go. So this is one that I used. I have a reducer on this, but over there, I have the right fucking socket wrench. I just don't want to pull all my shit out right now. So just get on this, and you're gonna. No, if I can change the direction of it, cool. You're gonna have it so that it's tightening, and you're gonna push down on this, relieve your fucking tensioner, and then pull out your belt. Nothing super duper duper hard. If you want to, since I can basically get all in here now, and all of this is disconnected, I think you can just leave your alternator on here. If you want to take off your alternator, you can. I don't think that I'm gonna do it. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Oh, there's enough clearance back there, so I think I'll just leave it as is right here. It's probably the best case scenario. Yeah, so I'll just leave this here, and I'll take off this intake manifold. If I have any troubles, then I will go ahead and remove the alternator, but I don't think I will have any issues with this alternator, so I'll just leave it on the engine right here. And then this right here, you gotta take apart your coolant tube from your radiator, and I think that's about it. Yeah, so we'll come back to you when the intake manifold is taken off here. Also, if I didn't say that, here there's, I want to say 4 or 6. There's 4. Yeah, there's 4. There's 8. There's 8 in total. So you have 8 different 10mm bolts holding down this intake manifold. One right here, one right here, one right here, and one back there. So make sure you just disconnect all your tubing, all your electrical harness, everything that's connected back here. There's 2 hoses on this that you'll have to pull down. This harness back here that you'll have to take out. You'll have to take off the hoses off of this, electrical connection off of that. Same goes with the fuel rail and everything. And then once you have it all up, essentially it's not too hard. This is just getting the accessories and all the fun shit off of the wiring harness so that it can be left alone, so you can just pull the engine out. And they're really, it is not as bad as you would think it is, and it's not too much. Anybody can go ahead and do this. I would honestly recommend you do this at least once in your life so you can figure out how to go ahead and do it. Worst case scenario, if you get in a pinch or something like that, but this is something definitely handy to know, whether it be a 2-valve engine like this or any V8 or any engine in general. So I would also say that a V8 engine, something like this, where there's a couple parts where it can be hard, it's nice to have something that's a little bit tricky and a little bit frustrating, so that you have to, you know, get your time on it and actually learn the vehicle, learn what it's about and everything like that. It is something that I think this generation should go ahead and know, and they should at least learn the basics of how a car, you know, goes all together and take it apart and all that fun shit. So anyways, guys, I will be back once all this is taken apart here. And alright, it's time to record again. So I had a little bit of trouble, but nothing too bad. And just make sure that you go ahead and get your 10mm bolt off of your coolant crossover. Make sure that either if you're going to disconnect it or take off your T-stat housing, go ahead and take it off. Once you have all of that, make sure you also have all your coil packs taken out. I took all my coil packs out. There's one boot that I have that didn't come out, so we'll have to get back in there, and I guess we'll do that once we take this out. But there's a total of 8, so you got 1 in the back there, 1 right there, 1 right here, 1 right here, and vice versa on the other side for this intake manifold. And just make sure you get everything disconnected from it. The other thing that you have here is you have your coolant tube. You just have to disconnect it. It's going to be this one right here that flips over on the top, and then this one right here is goes to this hose back here. So just disconnect it from either from the firewall here, or disconnect it from there. And then we'll get to the fun part under here, but I thought at least we record us taking this hodgepodge out with one hand. Ugh. Where's the fucking cut underneath? You fucking whore. Okay. Hey. Basically one-handed. Let's see. Yep, this is not ported. These are the original umps on it. Huh. Somebody needed to come in here and shave down the plastics. And I got some fucking... that's disgusting. That's because it made gasket maker inside of it. Okay. That makes sense. Well, hey, it works great. And down here, I got this. So, once you get to this part, I would recommend, you know, taking a vacuum and sucking out all this fucking shit in here. But now that you have the intake manifold off of this, oh, I just bent that, putting my arm on it, and it's okay, it's nothing but a ground. Alright, you can now get to your 2 transmission bolts, the hard ones right here. So this one and this one, and I believe they're a 10, if I'm not wrong. They're either 10 or 13 back there. So it's great test. Let's grab this 12 and see if the 12 is too small or if the 12 is too big. Okay, come on. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Alright, it's a 13. Get you a 13 on the back of it and you can unloosen that. But now we're down to the part where we've taken off the intake manifold and gotten to the hardish part. The next hardish part is going to be taking the motor mounts and everything. But once you get it to this point, take your wiring harness and, if you can, try to get it up out of the way here. I'll just throw mine over to the other side. Where do I have it connected? I got a connector right there. And then do I have it connected back there? Yeah. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna disconnect this harness here, and then we're gonna disconnect it from this right down there, and then we're gonna take all of this. Does this go down in the starter? Oh no. It goes to AC and everything. Alright, well, I'm just gonna have to, you know, trace it and take all that out, and then I will move this one. I'll move it over to that side over there. Unless I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll have to disconnect it from those two, and I'll have to move it over to this side. So I'll have to move the wiring harness over to this side. Anyways, we'll jump back in when I have all of that stuff, you know, more done there. But we're boogieing and scooting along, taking this out. Hope that you guys are enjoying. If you do, like, comment, rate, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And then we're going to be doing a 544 valve swap in this. So stay tuned, and we'll give you all the beans for everything that you need to know to do it. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Alright, guys, we're back out here. I don't know how much I went ahead and recorded. Obviously I didn't record this part, but we'll talk about that here in a second. But here's all the parts that I went ahead and took off so far. The coolant reservoir, tank, the intake manifold, the fuel rail, the plenum, the coil packs, serpentine belt, and just the vacuum lines and stuff, and that air sensor back there. So I've disconnected just about everything here. We're gonna finish unbolting the rest of the stuff that I haven't unbolted, like the stuff from the fuse block over there that I was talking about last time, and just like the main harness plug. We're gonna take all this stuff off from the firewall, and we're gonna move the wiring harness out over here with all the plug wires and all the shit over here. We're gonna take off this radiator hose. We're gonna take out the radiator because while we're here, I guess maybe we'll replace it, maybe we won't. I gotta inspect it to see how it is. I think it's holding coolant, but underneath here, the dumbasses who kept lifting it in a certain point fucked up the radiator brace bar, whatever, support bar underneath there. So the part that we're on to now is we just went ahead and we lifted up the car. I couldn't find my other stabilizer jack. I have 2 of them around here somewhere. I don't know where the other one went, but I just put cinder blocks and a piece of wood. That'll hold it. It'll be fine. Fuck it. If it kills me, shoot. I don't think it'll do that, but we're all good. We got a good Duralast over on this side, and then we got the jack in the middle underneath the radiator support, because I'm trying to bend that shit back out, but it'll be okay to lift from, I wouldn't recommend it. But we got it all up so that we can take out the drive shaft and all that stuff underneath there, disconnect any trans wires, and we've already disconnected the O2 sensors, and we're going to take out the exhaust headers. Well, we're not going to take out the headers, we're just going to take off the exhaust. And that'll give us some wiggle room to go ahead and start working in there and take out this engine. So I'll jump back in with you guys when I'm there. Alright, peace.
Somebody said you couldn't rap, man.
Who, me?
I tried to tell him.
I let him know. Every day I'm getting faded. I'm smoking more weed than Dr. Dre, that's what I'm saying. I feel like Eminem when I'm on the beats. I be rapping, attacking, and macking and stuff, and they know I'm straight from the streets. And know I'm never playing, I'm straight from the CLE. But now they catch me in the 405, that's OKC. I'm repping for the South Side, yeah, baby. I be getting lit, smoking weed, yeah, I'm like Young Gravy. Trying to come for all you little mills that be on the dick. Enough of that stuff, you talking that shit, don't be slick. I leave you on the concrete, chocolate around your body. Enough of that stuff, I got your mom, she acting naughty. Ooh, I'm straight flossy, yeah, I'm grinding on the beat. I feel like Mike Jones when I put a little lean up in my drink, you know, I stir it up in the Sprite. I'm coming through, I smoking weed, I might be up all night.